All right, so I'll call the meeting to order, okay? Remember, everyone, that it is being recorded. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
To say that we needed you tonight is an understatement, really. You're muted, though. You're muted. We can't hear you.
I've lost Jeanette's video.
I lost Jeanette, too. Jeanette,
there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to rename Pat. And I don't know. I turned off my video for a second. No worries. I'm here.
Okay.
So Pua, if you can hear me, you're going to record and I don't need to. Thank you very much.
Hey. So again, we called the meeting to order. You did not receive any notification about any public comments, right, Jeanette? Okay.
Thank you. No.
All right. So next item on the agenda is additions to the agenda. Jeanette, you wanted to add something to the agenda?
Yes. In thinking about yesterday's election, I wanted to, hold on, I'm sorry. Nancy Atwood is here. I just wanted to say that I was looking at people's terms, and it reminded me that terms end 2021. Have that here somewhere. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members of the commission end in 2021. And if you are one of them, and I can list them if they want, please, over the next, few weeks by, June 30th, definitely know whether you want to be reappointed. And if you want to be reappointed, it's on you guys to do outreach to whoever the town committee that you spoke to before you got on. You need to do outreach there and just make sure they know you want to serve again. We hope that you all want to come back and serve more time. That didn't come out right. It is important to give it some thought and whether this is a good fit for you at this juncture. You made the commitment to 4 years ago. Yeah, these are 4-year terms. These are 4-year terms. So whether you want to take on another 4-year term, some of you, I can read it. It's Nancy Lee Atwood, Janet, Jennifer Clark Lofters, who's not here, but I'll let her know, Viviana, and Mary Lee Sabshin. All of you are up at June 30th, and whether or not you come back is entirely in your hands. But I wanted to say something about it tonight to give you time to think it over. And that's really the whole issue. So we can move on from there. There's no vote on this.
And as chair, I'd like to urge you all to do that, because I think we have a pretty awesome team now. So anyhow, next on the agenda is the liaison reports. Ellen, would you please give us your report?
Sure, thank you. I wanted to remind you all that the annual town meeting is May 17th at 7:30. Last year, under the governor's executive order, we skipped the annual town meeting altogether. This year, we're having the annual town meeting, but it will be by Zoom. We have an interesting, intricate process for our budget. And at the annual town meeting, if there is a quorum of 250 people, proposed changes can be made to the budget. I've never seen 250 people, even when we were in person. So I doubt that there'll be any changes, but it is part of our New England tradition. So if you want to tune in that night, the preliminary budget hearing in April did not engender much discussion about changes to the budget. So following the annual town meeting, the Board of Finance will meet right then to adopt the budget for next year. And I just wanted to thank the commission and Jeanette for your help in being so cooperative with Tony and with the Board of Finance and helping us keep the budget increases to just what we really need. And I think we're in really good shape for the town and going forward. I think that's about it. So thank you all.
And thank you, Ellen. Okay, we do not have a representative from the Board of Finance here tonight, so we will not get a report from the Board of Finance.
Board of
Next-
Select.
No, Board of
Board
Selectmen.
of Selectmen, rather. I'm sorry, Board of Selectmen, right. We just got it from you, Ellen, sorry. Okay. We need to, minutes of the April 5th meeting, approval of them. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Are there any corrections? I don't have any corrections. If no one else does, then I'll need a motion to approve the minutes of April 5th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of April.
Okay, Mary Lee,
April
and a
1st.
second.
I'll second it.
Okay, Janet. All those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining?
Hi, it's Nancy. I'm going to abstain. I wasn't at the April meeting.
Okay, all right. Viviana, you've got all that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the capital and operating budgets.
Well, I have less to say now that Ellen spoke, but thank you, Ellen. Thank you for your service too. I think you guys work with difficult numbers to try and weigh the options of providing the services necessary and providing the relief to the residents of the town. It's not an easy job, and we appreciate what you do. That said, we did receive, after the Board of Finance reviewed the budget, we did have a $3,000 cut to our part-time, all other line item, which is part-time workers. I'm not entirely sure how that will work out. It's not that they cut anyone's hours specifically, we just have less to work with. So I think sometimes we have coverage we use in our part-time hours, so that when Lee was here and she had 5 weeks of vacation time, her assistant in the senior center would be able to go to full-time from part-time hours. And so some of that coverage might not be here, and we'll just be short-staffed when someone takes their vacation time or, God forbid, becomes ill. We'll just be short-staffed again. We are actually finally fully staffed, and it makes a world of difference here. We all are sort of exhaling for the first time in about 15 months. So that does make a difference. I digress. Just what Ellen said, actually, we'll wait to see what happens at the annual town meeting, and we'll hope that you guys attend. If I can't imagine a scenario where somebody would criticize our budget. When you look at the graph that Tony Genovese puts out of how the pie chart that how the town's finances are divided, you'll see, this much for Amity and this much for Beecher and our services, police, fires, and our debt service. And then there are these 3 little stepchildren at the bottom of rec, library, and human services, using these tiny little slivers that you would never be satisfied if it was a real pie. And of the 3 little stepchildren, human services is the smallest. So I can't imagine anyone begrudging us the money it takes to do the work that we do in this community. The services that Youth Services and the Senior Center and Human Services provide. That's my take on it.
Could I jump in for a moment?
Sure.
I wouldn't call you stepchildren, because remember, the 2 big budget items are the school systems. And that just reminded me that I wanted to remind all of you that tomorrow is the vote on the Amity budget. So if you're so inclined, I know it always sounds crazy that it's 2 days after the other election. Why can't we do it at the same time? And as many times as I research it and find out the answer, I forget. But there is a reason we can't.
We're 2 different voting districts. We're not the same voting district. One is the Amity School District is a different voting district. It's not the town of Woodbridge. And Orange doesn't even have an election in the spring. Bethany does, Woodbridge does. Orange does not have May municipal elections. They have theirs in November. So it all has to come together with the 3 towns and the Amity voting district.
Well, thank you, and it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that's it for the update on the referendum on the budget so far
And I
for
know you,
FY22.
Ellen, I know you said you had to leave, and I just wanted to say that how important I think it is to have liaisons and from the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen present at our meetings. So thank you for, for always being here when we meet, because I think it's really valuable to be able to have that communication.
No, I agree with you, and I think we've had different discussions about the roles of liaisons, and I do think one of the important things is having someone from the boards at your meetings or closely reading your minutes, which I do when I'm not there, to really, so it helps the other boards really understand what's happening without having to attend meetings. I think it's a good system. So thank you for having me.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next is, well, you've already talked about the annual town meeting, so the next item on our agenda would be the Woodbridge Center. Christy, will you please give us your report?
Sure. Since the timing worked out this month and everybody was able to finally get the written report ahead of time, I will keep this brief. As far as the new staff, Michael Arcangelo is working out very well. He's getting a lot of positive feedback from the clients. And Jessica Esposito completed her first month here, and she's also working out very well. She's proving to be a very quick learner and is adapting very well to the position. And at this time, very happy with her. The rec department, the library, and the human services will host summer second Saturdays. And as part of that event series, on June 12th, the center will be having a community tag sale in the center building and library parking lot. Vendors can purchase a space, which is comprised of 2 parking spaces for $10, or a space with 2 tables set up for $25. The center opened on April 15th to in-person programming, with a craft group being the first program here. Due to rain, they were the first program since March of 2020 to be indoors, and we appreciated them being here. They appreciated seeing everyone, and it was really nice to have them here. As part of that first day of being here inside, we were able to use the new self check-in kiosks that were made possible by the CARES Act grant. And we gave everybody a very quick in-service as they used them. Everybody was given a laminated ID card, which had their name and a barcode on it. So every time they come, they will now just scan the card and choose the program that they're going to be attending. And the next week when they came, they all eagerly had their cards out and were excited to use the kiosks, and they did so with ease, and there weren't any issues. Being able to go back and check attendance afterwards, and also being able to pre-register them so that we could keep an eye on attendance, worked out really well as well. Exercise with Lori began on April 27th, and Painting for Pleasure resumed on April 28th. These classes will be outside, except if the weather's inclement, and then it will be in the center building. And then all the classes are close to or at capacity. So everyone's really eager to come back and attend all of our programming, which is really nice. On May 10th, indoor pickleball and targeted strength training will also resume. And then we're going to continue with the monthly drive-throughs at this point. The Spring Earth Day one was very well received once again, with people really being very appreciative. It's not the same people that are calling and giving us the feedback. It's various people, and they just are very appreciative to be able to look forward to it and to come and give them that sense of community. We had Sean Taylor fill in for Pierce Campbell, as Pierce Campbell had a last minute engagement. even though I advertised the event as being able to come to this nice spring drive-through, put your windows down, listen to the music. The wind chill temp was in the 30s, and it was a blustery, more like a winter day, but everybody still enjoyed it and still enjoyed the entertainment. The next drive-through will be on the 6th, this Thursday, for Mother's Day, and there will be a quiche Lorraine, fresh fruit, and a cannoli. Elaine Mercutio of New England Young at Heart will be providing the food as well as sponsoring the event, along with Whitney Rehab and Artist Senior Living. And then the Senior Center will provide some candy and tea and a nice flower to go with it. And then lastly, our Tai Chi Quan Moving for Better Balance Zoom program started last week. We have 9 attendees, and all of them have various levels of balance impairment. They all are already getting a lot out of it, and plan to continue and are enjoying it thoroughly with Bill being the instructor, Bill Bannock. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Wow.
Any questions?
Well done.
Thank you.
I'll need a motion to accept Christie's Senior Center Director's report.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
Viviana, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion's carried. Next item on our agenda is youth services. Nancy?
Hi, everyone. So we had 24 students actually attend our babysitting classes. We started one class. I scheduled a 2-day morning class, and within 2 days it was full. So we quickly opened afternoon classes, and kids really enjoyed it. I think they're really ready to get out and try something different. So it was well done. Really, our instructor's great. She's been doing this for years, and the kids really enjoyed it. The after-school guided study program is in process. It should be finishing within the next week or two. Instead of doing it in person, it's done remotely. We have 7 teachers working on it. They're working one-on-one with students through Zoom, and so the schedule is varying based on the student needs and the family needs. But that is how we expend the enhancement grant that we received from Department of Children and Families. And it's a great program, and this year I'm sure was not easy for the students or the teachers. So I think it's really been helpful to help kids get through their work and help them stay more organized this year. The second Saturday that the series that Christy mentioned, we Youth Services will be responsible for the chalk art and games fun day, which is this Saturday, May 8th. And we have chalk for families who are registered. We only have about 6 families registered so far. I hear we might have some rain Saturday morning, so there is a rain date of next Saturday, the 15th, just in case. And we also have some games, rec departments bringing the cornhole and a badminton set up, and we have some games of our own to set out. And I have some teenagers signed up to help set up and help us hand out chalk and play the games. We have a couple bubble makers, so if you want to come and chase some bubbles, please come. It's this Saturday at the town center in our parking lot and on the lawn, and it will be start at 10, just goes from 10 to noon. Home Alone class, we have one scheduled starting this Thursday. It'll be 2 Thursdays. It will run from 4 o'clock to 5:15, so we'll get out just before the custodian has to lock up the building. And Officer Vinnie Lynch has offered to help and talk about emergencies to the children. So that will be 2 Thursdays, this Thursday, May 6th, and then the following Thursday. So that should go well. That will be in the gym after school. Awareness Week, we have been planning at the middle school. We've been trying to plan, and so I've had some Zoom meetings with some of the teachers there and the student council. And so we involve the students in coming up with ideas. So they come up with a plan for, just a theme for each day of the week. And then we usually provide some, supplies to help the kids out. So they came up with a Pride Day, and they'll be making some bracelets the week before, and they'll be wearing them and showing their pride and, you know, something that they're proud of. They'll wear their sweatshirts or whatever, dance outfit, whatever they want to wear that day. So that'll be Day of Pride. Then they have Day of Acknowledgement and Diversity. And so, and a young lady said today she'd like to add anti-hate, and we thought that was a good idea. So they're going to be working on that. The Wednesday is supposed to be Day of Silence. So what they do is they think about people who don't have a voice, and they discuss that, and they will be discussing that in an advisory, and they'll be wearing purple wristbands that we will provide, and that will allow them to stay silent for the day, unless a teacher really needs them to talk. And then what are the other days? So then we have Kindness and Gratitude Day. And then the last day is called The Future is So Bright. So it's really, you know, we want to create some hope for these kids, especially right now after COVID, and we want them to look forward to the future. So they will wear some, you know, sunglasses, and we ordered kites. And I thank the Bethwood Baseball League because they made a generous donation for those kites. So we're really appreciative of that, and that should be really fun. And I think the kids are looking forward to that too. ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, we finally have a date, and it's May 25th, and it'll be the Bystander to Ally. It will be done by Zoom, 2 workshops, 2 90-minute workshops. So there'll be about 20 to 30 students involved with that. And First Selectman's Youth Award, I am just totaling the votes now. We have votes in from most of the Youth Advisory Board. I think I'm waiting on maybe one more person. And so we should know very shortly who the winner is, and then we can make the announcement. And we will be scheduling a small ceremony, probably out at the gazebo the way we did last year. That'll be simple, probably just the family and Beth and representative. We do get a $200 check that we can provide. We provide that to the winner, and we also will provide a plaque for them. So that's all I have right now. Thank
Nancy,
you.
how many nominations did you receive for the?
I received nominations for 6 students.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Are there any questions? I'll need a motion to accept Nancy's Youth Services Director's report.
I'll make a nomination.
Mary Lee.
Accept Nancy's.
I'll second.
Okay, Viviana. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Jeanette, our Human Services Director's report.
I don't know how I can follow those two. They're very impressive. I just love listening to them. Thank you. So one of the things that I'm working on now, because some of the COVID responsibilities, the vaccine clinics are lessening the responsibility. We are working on first aid, CPR, and AED certification. I would say recertification, except we've all expired. And Susan took exception with my report saying that half the staff expired. What I meant to say in the report, and I'm amending it here, that half the staff's certification expired. Otherwise, we would be sorely missed here. So actually, as of 5 o'clock, I actually found a purveyor for the class, and we're going to be training 2 classes of 6. We'll hope to get all the staff, including Nancy's staff, certified, and we're going to do most of the class remotely. It's a hybrid class where we can each do our own portal and get through the training, the bulk of it, with new 2020 input. There's new things that we'll learn on these portals, and then we'll get together for a class of 6 with an instructor and do an in-service of less than 2 hours. So, the class is previously 6 hours, and that just felt like way too long to be spending 6 hours in a room with 6 other people, including the instructor. We'll likely do the class in a large space like the cafeteria, but it is time that the staff be certified, and so we're working on that. Ellen is helping. I wanted to let you know that the grant, the CARES Act grant, we did get approved for the full $2,500 after we sent in all of the paperwork. I have to tell you, the application was pretty simple. Spending the money was kind of hard. You know, you had to be within their parameters. And the filing the paperwork was the most difficult because you had to have not only invoices, but the check requests, all the backup material, including canceled checks from the town when they paid for each item. So Ellen was able to work with Pat Swope in the finance department, and they were able to come up with all of that. I had to write another piece in this report that said how we used all these materials and how it benefited the senior population. And I did that, and we scanned it and sent it over to the state. And within 2 hours, we had been approved for the full report. So we're really quite grateful that we have a good team here, and we were able to respond to their query. The referendum / grant that was applied to Rosa DeLauro's office, I did get a sort of an update. It does not appear that we will be granted the $300,000 from Rosa DeLauro's office that we applied for last month. There were something like 70 applications, and they're allowed to choose 3 in the whole state. So doesn't look like we're one of them. That said, there is a referendum that will be scheduled for sometime, I'm guessing early summer. And that's not confirmed. That's just a guess on my part. Late June, early July. And that referendum covers 4 projects: the old firehouse, the shed behind the new firehouse, part of the Beecher roof, and an upgrade to the senior center. I had written in this report that if we were approved, the senior center portion of the referendum would be withdrawn so that we'd get the money from Rosa DeLauro's office. It would not be included in the referendum. It looked like that was a little confusing, so I just want to clarify that should we get the money from the federal grant, we would not also get part of that referendum, but now that looks like that point is moot. The Homebound vaccine coordination has, at this point, I think, finished. Saturday, we had hired a paramedic and an EMT and a public health nurse. Came down from Quinnipiac Valley Health District. I met them here Saturday morning with an itinerary, and they went out to various houses in Woodbridge and then on to a few houses in Bethany. The way the J&J doses are, that you have to come up with 5 recipients before they'll open the vial. So in order to get our full complement, we needed to share this day with Bethany. Bethany has said that they will also contribute to the portion of the day where the EMT and the paramedic were in the town of Bethany. That's all documented, and Bethany will pay their portion of hiring those people. Frank Charleglio, not Frank Charleglio, Frank Capiello, assisted with hiring AMR, and Quinnipiac Valley Health District got us the public health nurse and the vaccine. And it's just really a great thing that Woodbridge was able to take care of these really vulnerable members of our community. And it went well. I got a report that it went well. So as far as I'm concerned, we're done. DPH sent me another report today, and it didn't have any new recipients, but it's ongoing. And at any time, we could get new folks who have applied for this this program. So I'll report back to you if and when we get others. And at this point, we're done with our COVID clinics as far as scheduling folks for the North Haven clinics. We are still assisting people who are getting their second vaccines at these clinics. Those are ongoing because we went through mid-April with our first vaccine clinic, so we'll go through mid-May with second vaccine clinics. This department, through the calls, all parts of the department, with giving people the links and the phone numbers and these clinics, we've helped, easily. Well, I don't want to make a big number, but it's a lot of people, hundreds and hundreds of people. About 500 people got actual appointments, and I'd venture to say almost as many got direction to getting appointments in town. So we're really thrilled with being able to assist the folks in Woodbridge get their vaccines, and now it feels like a breath of fresh air. It really did. We were scrambling for months, and Christy and I were talking about it this afternoon. There's just not that, we're busy, don't get me wrong, but there's not that sense of what's the next thing that's going to crash in our doors. And we have a little bit of time to breathe and do the projects that were on the whiteboard for all these months not getting done. So I just wanted to say thank you to the staff for getting through such a very difficult time for the last months. We started our first clinic in January. So thanks. That's it from me.
Okay, need a motion to accept Jeanette's report.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay,
I'll
Viviana.
second it.
Janet seconds. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. And again, we've been talking about it for several meetings now, but such a sense of pride with all that Human Services has done. The pandemic has challenged all of us, and I'm proud to live in Connecticut, and I'm proud to live in Woodbridge. So thank you all, staff members.
I also wanted to add, I thought it was great to hear in the news that Connecticut was the first state to hit 50% of the population vaccinated.
Yes.
So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I
I also heard, though, that we can't reach herd immunity until all the kids get vaccinated, because they represent 25% of the general population. So until 2 and up get vaccinated, we're just never. And then there are all the people who can't, for whatever reason, get a vaccine. So it adds up, and we can't reach our herd immunity until they get moving on those kids, which I think is starting next month. Next week, excuse me.
Next week.
12
Yes,
to,
next week.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that.
It's been really rewarding to see the 16, 17-year-old kids get their vaccinations. They've been pretty excited. My son got his a couple of weeks ago, the first dose.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Our grandson got his at Wesleyan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So
That's good news.
it is very good news. The next item is old business, new business. Any old business, new business? Okay. The next meeting is, if not, then our next meeting is Monday, June 7th. And if we're going to adjourn, I'll need a motion for that.
So moved.
Okay,
I'll make a
Pat.
motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, Pat made it. Mary Lee, you want to second it? Okay. I think Pat beat you. Okay, fine. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anyone opposed? I think not. Oh, it always seems so abrupt. I vote for meeting in person too, in the cafeteria. Although it's very convenient to just sort of come upstairs and slip into the chair. But anyhow,
It'll be good to get back together.
it will be. It's definitely not the same.
Well, we'll definitely wait for guidance on that from Town Hall. And I will definitely be forthcoming as soon as that's happened.
We're gonna have to wear name tags if we have to wear the masks, so we'll know who, like Halloween.
I don't know about all of you, but my glasses steam up with the mask and the,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
work. It really doesn't work. Anyhow. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night,
see you
everyone.
all.
Okay.
Good
Bye.
night.